Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Lynn. Welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. And we are in the kitchen today, and today is going to be a fun video. Today I am starting our Christmas baking because this video is part of a collaboration that is hosted by Angela from The Inquisitive Farm Wife. Thank you, Angela, for hosting this. And it is called Cookies and Candy 2025. And there is quite a few of us who will be putting out set videos every day. I'm going to put all the information down below in the description box. Today obviously is my day, and the first week is going to be cookies. So yes, this is going to start our Christmas baking. I like to start my Christmas baking a couple weeks before, and I freeze a lot of our doughs and things like that, so it makes celebrating Christmas much less stressful for me and much more enjoyable, and everything's all the hard part's been done and we get to enjoy the fun part. And I had mentioned a few weeks ago that my family and I here on our homestead, we are really focusing on a vintage Christmas this year. Though the more I've been planning and the more I started thinking about it, that's kind of how we have Christmas every year. It's not too different, except this year I'm really focusing on vintage recipes for a lot of our desserts, our cookies, our candy, maybe some side dish, the main meal. I'm really going back to when I was a child and all these recipes that would be made by my grandmothers, my mom, my babysitter who we went to, just to bring that feeling back. It's been a lot this year, and things that have been going on in the world, things that have been happening here in our country of Canada. There's a lot. It's heavy, it's sad at times, and it's a lot. And I think a lot of people, and I know this, I know a lot of people are feeling like we are too, where they just want to evoke that feeling they had when they were younger, maybe, at how Christmas felt. I told the kids, Christmas in the 80s was amazing. It was so amazing. And partly, I think I'm literally craving it is because in the 80s, everyone that I loved was alive and celebrating Christmas with us. And I think that's what the feeling I'm trying to bring back. So I'm not trying to make this too heavy, but that is what I'm trying to do with Christmas this year. And today's recipe, which is a cookie recipe, as I said, the first week will be all cookies, is a recipe that the most wonderful woman in the world, one of my most favorite people growing up, our babysitter, Diane Kraft, who babysat us for quite a few years while my mom worked and my dad worked, lived just down the road from us. We went to school with her two boys, and she was a baker. This lady was chef's kiss baker. She was amazing and always was known for her baking in our small town. People would order things from her at Christmas time. She always did different other kinds of very small scale, what's the word I'm looking for? Catering, very small scale catering. And actually at my baby shower for Grace, my firstborn, she asked me what I wanted, and I said all I want was a couple of her treats that she used to make that I loved as a child, and that's what she did for my baby shower. She made these treats for my baby shower, and we lost her a few years ago. Unfortunately, she had diabetes, and she got hurt, never healed, and it unfortunately ended up taking her out. Not a mean bone in this woman's body. She was amazing, and I have very, very strong memories of baking with her and learning from her, and she was a lovely lady. Loved yard sailing. That's probably where I get my love of thrifting and yard sailing from. So today's cookie, I cannot believe I'm going to say this. I have actually never made this for my family. I don't know why. I've just never made them for my family. I guess because there's so many that I do make, it just never got into the rotation. So I'm definitely making it. I'm excited to share it with all of you. And I'm really looking forward to that first bite because I know it's going to make me think of Diane and Christmas when I was a child. And they are the candy cane cookies. I can't believe I've never made these for my family. So I'm going to get my apron on. It's a very simple recipe. Doesn't have a lot of ingredients, but I'm telling you, it's melt in your mouth delicious when they're finished.
Good evening. Breaking news from Mom's Kitchen. A 1963 culinary marvel, the candy cane cookie.
Are you seriously doing this again?
Mom, the people need to know. Introduced by Betty Crocker in 1963, it costs 82 cents per batch. Today, it's a mortgage, and you need a small loan from Santa, or $4.62 a batch. Making them in 1963 was festive joy. Making them today, just financial stress, but it's still adorable. This has been your candy cane cookie history. Stay tuned for the actual baking, assuming she got approved for that cookie loan.
Well, if I didn't, I guess that's less cookies for you, wise guy.
I didn't agree to that!
I also forgot the elephant in the room. Yes, I cut my hair. Yes, I love it. I feel like a new woman. I was so over that long hair. I thought for the longest time that's what I loved, and it's not. What I loved was not having to go get haircuts. I know it's terrible, but on my birthday Friday, I treated myself. I told her what I wanted. I had several pictures. I got what I wanted. I am so happy. It takes so little shampoo and conditioner now to wash my hair, and it's healthy again. And honestly, not to sound very vain, but I think it's more flattering for me than the long hair. So yes, I chopped my hair all off on Friday, and this is my first video with the new hair. So you'll have to let me know down in the comments. What do you think? For this recipe, you are going to need 2 sticks or 8 ounces of unsalted butter. You're going to need 1 cup of powdered sugar, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 large egg, some vanilla extract and some almond extract, a teaspoon of salt, and of course our red food coloring. This is a safe, what do we call it? Natural food coloring. There's no artificial colors or dyes. This is all done with, I think in this case, it's like beet juice and a few other things, but that's what we prefer to use. And that is it. That is all the ingredients you need for these cookies. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add our room temperature butter, and I've just cut it up into smaller pieces just to make this a little bit easier on the mixer. And our 1 cup of powdered sugar. I did measure this with a normal measuring cup. I just put it in this pretty dolly Christmas measuring cup to make it a little bit easier. And we are going to cream this for several minutes. We almost want like a frosting consistency. Okay, we're at the consistency we want. So next we're gonna add the egg, and I have the 1 teaspoon of vanilla in here and the 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. Quick note about the almond extract before I start blending this again. You can add peppermint extract, you could add more vanilla extract. I prefer the almond for 2 reasons. 1, almond is always what Diane used. It was always an almond flavored cookie. I love almond, love it. Right now the smell of it is just amazing, and I can almost feel Diane here smelling that almond. 2, we're not crazy about peppermint in our cookies. We like them with chocolate and candy canes, but we're not crazy about them in cookies or even cake so much. So that's why I'm not gonna use peppermint. Once that's all mixed up, oh my gosh, that smells so good. We're gonna add the flour and the salt. I'm actually gonna add the salt right now. And I'm gonna slowly start adding the flour. I might turn you down 1, there we go. What makes these so amazing, it's the powdered sugar. It just makes the cookies so tender and melt in your mouth texture. Okay, that's perfect. Next, we're gonna divide the dough in half, and we're gonna, as you can imagine, color 1/2 of it. So that looks good. I'm gonna put this one back over here, set this one aside. It doesn't bother me if this isn't like vibrant red like a candy cane would be. When, oh, actually, if you think about it, at least the candy canes we buy the I guess organic ones. I don't even know if that's the word, but they don't have any artificial colors or dyes or anything in them. They're not even very red. So I'm just gonna do 3 drops in the beginning, and maybe I might do as many as 10, we'll see. That's about as red as I'm gonna get them. I would have to add way too much, and even though it's a natural food coloring, I'm still not crazy about adding it. So they're gonna be a little bit pink, but this step, I really recommend you don't skip. We're gonna go ahead and flatten these into a disc, wrap them in plastic wrap, and we're gonna put them in the refrigerator for a ½ hour, or you could put them in the freezer for maybe 15 minutes, but we're gonna put them in the refrigerator for an hour, and you could put them in the freezer for maybe 15 minutes. And I don't recommend you skip it. They're gonna work a lot better for you if they are chilled. You have no idea what's just been happening for the last 45 minutes. As I was cleaning up, I looked out our window and I saw our chickens quite upset. I look again and there was a weasel about this big, pure white, out there chasing them. So I yelled to Aiden. We went running. We got rid of the weasel. Unfortunately, it got one of our birds and she was suffering. So Aiden, God love him, I don't know what I would have done if he hadn't been home. He helped end her suffering, which was very hard for him. So I'm very thankful he did that for me. I think she was my green egg layer too. Yeah, darn thing. And we seen where it got out, but for now, so we had to spend it didn't take long to get rid of the weasel, but it took us a while to get all the chickens into the coop because it's daytime. They don't want to go in. We finally managed to get the last one in a few minutes ago, so they're all locked up in the coop safe with their food and water until David comes home and we can figure out what we're going to do. We've been wanting to do a new run for honestly months. It just seems like every time something else needs to get done first. So I know David, where it's warm this next few days, I think he's going to try and get that run done now, even in November, so the chickens are safer for the winter. I don't know what we're going to do if we don't, because the run we have right now, they're able to dig under it too much, even though we've got fencing. But anyway, that's what was going on the last 45 minutes. So that's why my cheeks are red. That's why I'm a little disheveled when my glasses are still dark, because it still thinks I'm outside. The update for Puggy is great. My battery died. I should have stayed in bed today. Anyway, yes, so many of you sent amazing messages about our Puggy boy. I get it, you're fur parents too, so you know your fur babies mean so much to you. Several of you gave me lots of great advice for dogs, the animals that you had that had diabetes. So he is on day 4 of getting 2 shots a day of insulin. He gets it at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Doing wonderful. We're already seeing improvement in him. He already seems to be feeling better. He's drinking a lot less and he's going to the bathroom a lot less. So knock on wood, there hasn't been any accidents. He seems to be doing really well. The hardest part is making him wait until 6 o'clock at night to eat. He's used to eating at 8 and 4:30ish every day, and he loves getting fed at 6, but boy, that 6 p.m. So we started giving them a little bit of hard food at lunchtime, just a little bit, just to kind of tide them over. But yeah, at 5:30 last night, even Lily was staring at Grace, because I say Grace because she's the one that primarily feeds them, especially the evening one now. Looking at her like, what's going on? Like, it's past 4:30. So, but he's doing well. I appreciate all your well wishes for him. He's almost back to his old self. He was actually playing with Lily this morning. So we only have a few more minutes for that dough to chill, and then we are ready to get going and make them and finally taste one. Because after what we just went through, we all deserve a cookie.
After your dough has chilled, you are going to break off roughly 2 tablespoons. This is roughly 40 grams, and I did measure them to make sure my cookies were as even and the same size as possible. And I'm just going to measure 4 of the red, 40 grams each, and 4 of the quote-unquote white dough at 40 grams each. And I'm just going to make 4 cookies, like I said, just enough for each of us to try one. And then I will be wrapping up the rest of the dough, marking the freezer bag and getting that into the freezer. And that is 1 more dough, or I should say my first dough, into the freezer for Christmas baking.
Now that we have them all measured out, my oven is preheating to 375 degrees, and we are going to roll each little piece about 6 inches. I mean, this is a great recipe to make with your kids or your grandkids. It's a simple recipe, and they'll have so much fun rolling these out and making them into candy canes. I'm so mad I didn't make these with my kids when they were little. Okay. So I'm going to actually roll all mine out. I wish I had some of Diane's recipes. I actually reached out to her son, and even he couldn't find her recipes, because she had 2 I loved. One was these squares where I don't know if it was cherry or strawberry filling. They were amazing. And then these other they were little teeny cupcakes, and we would grind all the peanuts for her till they were like dust, and she would frost them and then roll them in the peanuts. Oh my goodness. And I'm not one necessarily for, it's funny, I love peanut butter, but I'm not one for peanuts, but I loved them. And they were at my baby shower. They were one of my absolute favorites. And her bread rolls. Oh my goodness, she made the best bread. Best bread. And I guess that's all I'm looking, you know, like all I've tried to do with my kids is I want them when they're my age, being able to tell their children or grandchildren when they're older, if they're so blessed, about the things, the fun things they did at Christmas and make some of these recipes. Like that is my hope and my prayer that that's what I've been able to do for my kids, like my mother, my grandmothers, and my babysitter, the women in my life who were able to do for me. Okay, so we've got these all rolled out. And we are going to twist these together. I'm just going to put these all over here. And because we chilled them, they're not sticky. So that's why it's so important. And if it does become sticky or it starts to break or it's hard to work with, just put it back in the fridge for 15 minutes, the refrigerator, to get chilled again. Lined with parchment, we're going to transfer these over here. And we have to hook these to make them look like candy canes. I don't remember them being this big. Maybe Diane didn't roll hers out 6 inches. Maybe she rolled hers out a lot thinner. I'm thinking maybe she did. I'll go by the recipe for now, and then maybe when I make the next batch, I might roll these a little thinner. I might not. Maybe these are going to turn out perfect. Counting my chickens before they hatch, so to speak. They're actually recommending we refrigerate these, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and refrigerate them for 15 minutes, and then we're going to put them in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. They look so good. I do think the next time I make these for Christmas, I will maybe either make the ropes smaller and thinner or longer and thinner, but they are still a little bit thick, but they look very much like the ones I remember as a child. So we're just going to let these cool, and then we are all going to try them and see what the kids think. And I'm really curious to see if this makes me remember Diane. Everybody else is busy, so Aiden and I are going to try our candy cane cookies. Aren't they cute? They're so cute. All right, so take this.
All right, here we go.
They're definitely a big cookie. Like I said, I would definitely probably make them a little bit smaller, but ready?
Yep.
Let's see.
Crumbly.
Oh my goodness. I'm actually feeling a little emotional because these taste just like Diane's. They literally taste just like it. Almost like a shortbread.
Yeah.
Not real sweet, which is another good thing.
Like sugar cookie kind of consistency.
Yep, very much like a sugar cookie, which is basically, that's what it is.
Oh.
They literally taste just like, I wish you could have known Diane ate and she would have loved you. These are delicious. And they really do make me think of when I was a little girl in the 80s having Christmas, because it was the best time to be a kid. Oh my gosh, those are delicious. They literally taste just like, I mean, I'm not kidding. They absolutely remind me of those cookies I grew up having. I am so happy they turned out. And I'm so happy I finally made them for you guys. Well, friends, that is it for today. What a great way to end this video on a very successful cookie recipe, a vintage cookie recipe that we will be adding to our Christmas baking this year. Don't forget, down below in the description box will be all the information about the cookies and candy collab that's happening for the next 2 weeks. There's gonna be so many good recipes, and there's already been a few that have gone out, so you're gonna wanna go back and see them. Again, everything will be down in the description box for you to find. Until then, take care, God bless, and we'll see you all soon.